We're back on YouTube, everybody. Susan?
Yeah.
I'm here. Okay.
Can you finish here?
Yeah. Him and last.
Munoz, I'm going to mute you because until the judge gets here and he asks you questions, okay? All right, thank you. Mhm.
Okay, ready to rock?
Ready, Your Honor.
Back on the record, cause number 657-658, State of Texas versus Zach Munoz Lopez. This is a motion to revoke community supervision. Mr. Lopez, Representative Mr. Cesar Serna, as previously referenced, Assistant Criminal District Attorney Guillermo Flores and Megan Galloway are the ADAs, and Ms. Susan Gross is the CSCD supervisor, who I remind is still under oath. Mr. Lopez and Mr. Serna, I have two documents for you to identify your signatures on. The first one's entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Mr. Munoz Lopez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Serna, as attorney for Mr. Munoz Lopez, is also your signature on this document.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Pat, administratively, I don't have a date on my consent to motion to revoke hearing in this case, and I didn't have a date in the last case on this.
Okay.
So those just need to be administratively dated before they get.
Yes, sir. I will put that, tell the clerks.
Okay, Mr. Munoz Lopez, once again in class 657-658, I have another document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document also, Mr. Munoz Lopez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Serna, as attorney for Mr. Munoz Lopez, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Serna, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion for community supervision. Is that accurate?
I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't hear you.
My understanding is that this is an uncontested motion to revoke community supervision. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Munoz Lopez in clause 657-658 on the motion to revoke community supervision. How do you plead, sir?
Oh, it's truth, Your Honor.
Court accepts the plea of true with an explanation.
True with an explanation, Your Honor.
That's fine. Great. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Munoz Lopez probation at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. But first, Mr. Munoz, unless you're actively speaking, keep yourself on mute because there's so much background noise at the jail.
All right, thank you.
That'll just make it easier for everyone to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge, Mr. Lopez has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on October 5th of 2021. He has paid $420 towards his fees. He has a balance of $463 and he is current at this time. We do not have proof of any of his 30 hours of community service having been completed. He has 3 negative drug tests. He has 1 pending that has not come back from the lab. And we have no proof of enrollment or completion of the stress class, a firearms safety course. And he also has a condition that he does not possess guns. This is his first violation report, first MTR. His officer is recommending that he do 90 days on GPS and that he shows substantial compliance within 30 days. His prior arrest record includes failure to identify to a police officer and evading arrest.
Mr. Serna, what are you requesting?
Judge, I did have a chance to speak to the probation department and also the state. And subject to the court's approval, we had agreed tentatively, I guess, to 30 days substantial compliance and 90 days GPS. The only thing, Judge, is we're going to ask if, and I don't know if the court does this, if there's any way, if the fees can be waived on GPS. Part of the reason why, Judge, he didn't comply with some of these requirements is that he's been homeless for some time, for a few months now. But his aunt did hire me just yesterday, Judge, and she seems to be very interested in helping him get back on track. So I think he'll have a good support system if he gets released today. And he understands, Judge, I did explain to him the importance of complying with everything. He has complied with some things, as the state has mentioned, probation, but he is lacking in community service and the classes, and he's willing to go forward and get enrolled as quickly as possible, Judge.
He came on probation on June the 3rd, 2021. So that's June, July, August, September, and half of October. So 4.5 months. And basically in 4.5 months, we paid our monies and we reported and we didn't do anything else. Am I correct in assuming that that's what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. And he's had 3 negative drug tests and is pending the other.
That's correct, Judge. But as I said, it's partly due to the fact that, and he is taking blame for this. He is saying that he didn't complete these things, but partly is because he's been homeless. But I think with his aunt, Miss Carvajal, being involved now, I think that's going to help him out quite substantially.
Does Mr. Munoz Lopez have a job at this time?
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, I do have a job actually. I'm working to get myself an apartment at the moment.
I'm having a hard time understanding you, sir. Did you say yes, you do have a job right now?
Yes, I'm working myself to get an apartment so I can have a place to stay.
All right, where is your job right now, sir?
Oh, ABM Industries.
And Caesar, I apologize, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Where's your job located?
Judge, at ABM, A, Adam, B, Boy, M, Mary Industries.
What do you do there, sir?
It's a factory, it's a bakery. And I work in the kitchen, like putting the pans in the line, like putting the bread in like the things and then put them in the oven. Like it's a long process, but I work like overnight shifts and like try to put as many hours as I can.
And how much money a month do you make at this job?
Probably around I probably make around like $700 a week.
Why are you homeless if you're making almost $3,000 a month?
Oh, because I was saving to get a car, and then plus I got all these fees. I have probation fees, and then I've been saving up to get a car, you know, because my job is like by 35 highway, so I need to like transport and everything.
And Mr. Serna, is this the case where Mr. Lopez was found inside North Star Mall with a handgun? He wasn't in a car with a handgun. It was when we had a handgun on his person inside North Star Mall, and for whatever reason, the police stopped him and found it. Is that what happened in this case?
Judge, I can't answer that because I was not the attorney representing him on the underlying charge.
Mr. Lopez, does that sound like what happened, or is there a variation on that?
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
You were inside North Star Mall with a handgun when they arrested you, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. State recommendation.
Your Honor, I believe that the defendant needs to be adequately supervised. So we agree with probation's recommendation, Your Honor.
Mr. Lopez, or Munoz Lopez, in clause 657 and 658, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation on the motion to revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to revoke your community supervision. I sentence you to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. Susan, what was the original fine amount on this case?
Let me get that for you, Judge. I got it right here. $200.
$200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. The last I heard, the sheriff was granting 3 for 1. I don't know how that works. Caesar, you're welcome to look into that. For Mr. Munoz Lopez benefit, I'm giving him credit for reporting and for paying his money. He did nothing else. I could have given him a year in jail, but Mr. Serna convinced me that you do have some redeeming social value, but I just don't think we're ever going to get our courses out of you. So that's where that's coming from. So that's what's going on. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Munoz Lopez?
No, Your
Judge,
Honor.
no, in the 90 days, that's I guess that's not, you can't reconsider a lesser amount on that.
We can go up to a year. Would you rather go there?
Well, I was thinking less than 90 days.
Caesar, how long have you known me? 30 years? You were like 11 when you first became a lawyer,
29
something like that?
29 years, yeah.
When's the last time you saw me give anybody that was unlawfully carrying a handgun on an MTR less than a year? When? Never. Thank you. The only reason he's not going to jail for a year is you sitting there and you being his supporter. That's it. That's the only reason.
Okay, Judge, well, we appreciate that.
Mr. Munoz Lopez, and thank you, Caesar. Y'all are released. Susan, you got anything you need to chat with them about, or are we good?
No, sir. He'll just serve out his time. And Mr. Munoz, once you get out, then you'll be off probation. You have no more obligations. We will create a Smart Start removal order. So probably on Monday, maybe you can have your aunt take it back to Smart Start and get that turned back in. Okay.
Is he on a Smart Start mobile device?
Your
Oh.
Honor.
I'm sorry. That was the case before. Disregard. So
Okay.
This handgun, and we already took it away, which probably will slow down all that gunfight.
Your Honor, so there's no way I could have a GPS and do like
No, Mr.
Whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Munoz, the judge already ruled on it. It's 90 days. I'm going to talk to your family about it, okay?
okay.
All right?
Mr. Serna, if you and Mr. Munoz want to go to a breakout room so you can explain to him the good and the bad of what happened, you're welcome to do that. But I want to remind Mr. Munoz that I could have put you in jail for a full year. And as a matter of standard operating procedure for me for the last 17 and a half years, plus or minus, anybody that's had a handgun unlawfully that violated their probation went to jail for a year. So you should be thanking your lucky stars that you have Mr. Serna representing you, because that's the only reason you're not going to jail for a year and you're only going for 90 days. So please explain that to him, Caesar.
I
And
will, Judge. Yeah, if I could have just a few minutes with him, Judge. Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
Pat, you're muted.
If you go back to one, Caesar, I'll put him in one with you.
Okay, and then we can leave after that, right? After
Yes,
this.
of course.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh.
you bet.